Hello, friends. Welcome back to Transcendent Astrology and Tarot. My name is Michelle Fondon. I'm an author, speaker, tarot, and astrology reader, and welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to talk about the new moon in Cancer happening on Friday, July 5th, 2024 at 3:58 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're interested in finding out more about this new moon, please do stay tuned. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do tarot and astrology readings, and you can book that at my website, michellefondonauthor.com. The new moon in Cancer is happening at 14 degrees, 23 minutes of Cancer. A new moon happens when the sun and the moon are conjunct, meaning they're at the exact same degree. In the sign of Cancer, the sign of Cancer is all about deep emotions, about home, family, the things that are very familiar to you. It's also about stability, that which makes you feel at home and that which makes you feel safe. Now, the ruler of Cancer, which is a cardinal water sign, is the moon. So the moon during this new moon in Cancer is at home. The moon is at home in Cancer. And so that's what makes this new moon extra special here, is that the moon feels at home in Cancer. It's really super powered too, because during this new moon phase, which is about new beginnings and fresh starts, it's shared with a conjunction with the planet Venus, which is at 22 degrees of Cancer. So here we are, we have the sun, the moon, and Venus all conjunct in Cancer during this new moon phase. Now, this is a lot of feminine energy. Since Cancer is a water sign, it is a yin energy sign, so it is feminine energy. Venus is also about the feminine. The moon is about the feminine. So here we go. We have a lot of this watery, emotional, feminine energy, which is really good for introspection about beauty, your emotions, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your family, your closest friends, your home. It could really represent you digging deep into that deeper aspect of the femininity, of the feminine principle in your life. And there are other reasons why there is this digging deep into the feminine principle. It could have something to do with your own mother, with your grandmother, or if you are of a feminine type, the deeper sense of yourself, your deeper identity, the emotions about who you are as a feminine person, or the feminine aspects of who you are. I really like this. There's a lot of introspection though. Cancer does tend to introspect about those deeper emotions, whatever is closest to the Cancer person's heart. And this new moon is going to give you that opportunity to really explore what matters to you, what is closest to your heart, and to maybe kickstart something that feels better for you, that feels closer to home for you. Now, it could be something very simple here with Venus there. It could be getting a new lifestyle, wardrobe, haircut, looking the part of something that you feel closer to, that makes you feel close to the home, the sense of you feeling like you. It could be developing a closer relationship to home. So that could translate as I feel safer at home. I feel more comfortable at home. So I'm gonna ask my work if I can work part-time from home or if I can work full-time from home. It could be about your immediate family and wanting to spend more time with your immediate family. So there's all of this surrounding the emotions of home, your deeper inner emotions of feeling more like yourself, and also this Venusian aspect of the feminine principle, whether it's through being a mother yourself or the relationship with your mother or grandmother or your sisters, but it really has to do with the Venusian feminine principle, which could also include making your home more beautiful, making your home look like something that feels more like you. Inserting flowers into your home, plants, beautiful colors on the walls, but just making you feel comfy and cozy. And that is the Cancer principle of the astrology. So now that we understand what the Cancer principle in astrology means for this new moon, when we have the sun, the moon, and Venus all conjunct in the sign of Cancer, I'd like to take a look at some of the aspects that are aspecting this new moon. And I'd like to start with another water principle aspect, which is really interesting, is we have the sun and the moon, which of course are conjunct, trine Saturn retrograde in Pisces, another water sign. I like this. Usually when planets are aspecting Saturn, it's really not that easy, even with an easier aspect. But for the sake of argument, I'm going to offer that Saturn retrograde in Pisces helps you to go deeper toward more stability, more feeling aligned with the universal principles of what it means to be happy, healthy, and whole. Saturn makes you take things to their core level, step by step, getting into something deep and solid, right? That's Saturn, solid. Getting into something deep and solid and concrete. Pisces is not concrete. Pisces is the universe, it's spirituality, it's universal consciousness. But here with the Cancer principle, which is representing our deeper emotions about the things that are nearest and dearest to our hearts, I feel that the exploration with the trine of Saturn retrograde in Pisces is going to cause you to go a little bit deeper here. Maybe on the surface, you're saying to yourself, if I make these personal transformations in my life, I'm going to feel closer to my core, closer to home, closer to what makes me feel like me, that makes me feel cozier and safe. But maybe Saturn here with the trine is asking you to dig a little deeper. It's asking you to take a look at the person you are now versus the person you were when you were growing up. Because Cancer can really relate to those emotions that were hardwired from your childhood. But Saturn in Pisces retrograde is asking you to go a little bit deeper. Because Pisces is a more evolved water energy, it's asking you to look deeper and wider. Go deeper and go wider. Maybe what made you feel cozy and whole and at home when you were a child, even though you might think by going back to that, for some people that could be like moving back to their hometown or moving back into their family home or moving back into their childhood home. Maybe that's a clue, but it might not be the entire story. So maybe because of those deep emotions related to home might make you want to make the Venusian changes that lead you closer to that cozy feeling of home that you had when you were a child. Saturn retrograde in Pisces being trine to this new moon is saying, well, that could be, but maybe there's a deeper solution. Maybe there is a better solution. Maybe there's a solution that fits more of who you are as an adult now. And it might not mean going back to the way things were when you were a child. And so I think this is asking you, when you make the new moon intentions, when you make the new moon changes, it's asking you to dig a little deeper. do more investigation. Do more into what makes you feel whole, what makes you feel cozy, which makes you feel like at home. Then let's look at Mars. Mars is in sextile to the new moon. Now, Mars is in Taurus. Now, Taurus is another feminine sign. Pisces is a feminine sign, Taurus is a feminine sign, and Cancer is a feminine sign. Taurus is not a water sign, it is an earth sign, but it is also about stability. It's about the roots. This is interesting because we're being asked to take a look at what makes us feel at home, comfortable, emotionally well, and to not necessarily go back to our childhood or what made us feel cozy as a child, but looking a lot deeper with that Saturn in Pisces retrograde. Now, Mars comes in. Mars is the planet of action. It's the planet of taking action, taking decisive action. And it's in Taurus, which Taurus is a lot slower moving, but it's also longer lasting. So this could be about a new beginning that is going to be rooted, Taurus, in actions that are small actions, but that will then last longer. Martian actions aren't always long lasting, right? Mars is the ruler of Aries, which Aries is about quick actions, the fire starter. It starts a bunch of actions. Some may take and some may not take. Not the case with Taurus. When you take actions in Taurus, which Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is in Cancer, when you take actions in Taurus, it's usually something that's going to last a lot longer. It's an earth sign. It's very earthy. You plant the seed in the earth and it grows. So I really feel like there is this sense of determination. There is this sense of taking action during this new moon phase. There is this question of a decisive action related to Cancer themes, the Cancerian themes, and Venusian themes, the themes of Venus, money, beauty, happiness, joy, the feminine principle, and really connected to how you are feeling. This is super connected to how you're feeling because of all that energy in Cancer. How does this action make you feel on the inside? And not only for the now, how will this make you feel for the long term? And that's something you're being required to analyze and think about. Let's look at the final aspect that I'd like to outline here, and that is the new moon squaring the lunar nodes. In evolutionary astrology, this is called a skipped step where you didn't really finish one side or the other side. It's interesting to look at. It's about having to make a decision again between two lunar points, the north node and the south node. Now, the north node is in Aries, the south node is in Libra. The north node in Aries is about individuality. The south node in Libra is about the other, right? Libra is about relationships with another person, and Aries is about me, myself, and I, the individual. You're caught in between with these squares. So new moon squares to the lunar nodes means you're caught in between how do I feel, right? New moon in Cancer, how do I feel versus how does the other person feel and then I feel. And there is this connection point here of making a decision. Is this going to matter more to me or is this going to matter more to the person that I'm with? Or the person in question, whether you're exploring a relationship with a female family member, such as a mother, grandmother, an aunt, right? Dealing with Cancer, with Venus there, the feminine principle, close family and friends. Or it's whether you're dealing with a spouse, but you're connected to home, either your home of origin or the home that you have created with a partner or a spouse. I really feel that even though you are torn between the individual I and the other person, I'm feeling that the first thing you need to take a look at is the individual I. I believe that's the first thing you need to take a look at here. What are my feelings about what is happening in the things, the places, the people, places, and things that are near and dear to my home and my immediate environment? I feel that because of the Mars in Taurus, I really feel that Mars in Taurus, ruler is Venus. Mars in Taurus, Mars is where you are taking action. And I also feel that because of the Pisces principle, which is the more feminine principle, but also it's about universal consciousness, which can be about you connecting yourself, not only with your roots, but with your higher spiritual self. And I feel that once you have established what makes you feel healthy, happy, and whole in your home, in your immediate environment, in your family relationships, and what makes you feel comfy, cozy, and secure, once you have established that in those feelings, that can then extend toward the other. But it's not until you really have established that relationship with yourself and where you feel comfy, cozy, and secure that you can then share that with another. Here's the other reason why I say I believe that goes more toward the individual, the North Node. The North Node is your future pole. That's the first indication. The second indication is the Cancer type, being the mothering type, the moon can represent the mother, is more about nurturing. And oftentimes a Cancer type can nurture someone else, like the mother, nurture someone else over nurturing themselves. Meaning I forget about myself because I want to nurture somebody else. And I really feel like the lesson here is to go back to nurture the self, is to really nurture the self, get to your deep core emotions. How do I feel about this? The changes that I want to make me feel more cozy and at home in my environment, with my family, with my immediate friends. How do I feel about this feminine principle of nurturing happiness, wholeness? How can I nurture myself first? And then I can have enough energy to help to nurture others. And I really feel like that is it. That is the key right there, is having the wisdom and the strength with Saturn retrograde in Pisces to go deeper into yourself, go deeper into your inner psyche, your higher spiritual self, to determine what is going to best nurture you. Let's take some examples and then we will pull some tarot cards about this. So the first example I would like to give is if Cancer is in your first house, which Cancer is in my first house. I have a Cancer ascendant. And in fact, today, the sun is exact on my ascendant. If it is in your first house, if the new moon is in your first house, that is your sense of self and your self-identity. And all the more reason to look at the self first and what makes you feel healthy, happy, and whole and cozy in your environment, in order to make that environment, morph that environment into what brings you depth of happiness and wholeness, and then make those changes. And that's really about the self. How do other people see me in my cozy home environment? How do I see myself in my cozy home environment? What beauty with Venus there can I bring to myself and bring to my home environment? If Cancer is in your second house of resources and income, this looks super fantastic for Cancer in the second house. Why? Because Venus is there. Venus is there, and Venus is about money and resources and opportunities being presented in the Venusian aspects. The new moon, new opportunities for money, Venus is bringing those opportunities that are going to look really good to you. Now, again, with the trine to Saturn, which is helpful, these new opportunities for new money or new resources or new income or a new job that is going to provide an income, right? Because it's not a job in the second house. It's about something that's going to bring you a paycheck, if you will. I feel like it's dig deep into what you really want to do with this money or resources so that Saturn can plant the seeds then to make it grow. Because Saturn is always about something that's going to take you into the long term. The long term. Same thing with that Mars in Taurus, taking those action steps to bring you income. Taurus, that's going to sustain it for long term. Let's jump ahead. If Cancer is in your 6th house, that could have to do with job, your day-to-day job, your 9-to-5 job, or your health habits, your health plan, your diet, your exercise program, or if you are struggling with a medical condition, Venus can help you find those creative solutions and getting deep into your emotions about how to find those creative solutions. Or maybe there is a woman in your life that can give you the creative solutions for your health. It can also be about a job, for example, a job that has to do in Cancer professions, right? So what are Cancer professions in the 6th house? Cancer professions could be nursing, for example, especially with Venus there. You can dig deep into the emotions by becoming a psychologist, but really that a psychologist might mean more of a 10th house activity, because that's more of a, 10th house is more about a career versus like a 9-to-5 job, which psychologists could very well mean a 9-to-5 job if you work for a corporation as a counselor, or you work as a psychologist in a hospital and you do have set hours, for example. Let's take one more look here. What about if Cancer is in your 8th house, your 8th house of other people's money, or your 8th house of debt? This could be very auspicious, actually. This could be auspicious for paying off debt, paying off long-term debt. We always like to hear that. It could be auspicious for an inheritance. If you've been waiting for an inheritance to come through, it could come through. 8th house could be that your partner gets an unexpected resource of money, or that something that you've been waiting to come through for your partner in the way of money could come through. 8th house stuff. So I hope this helps you to understand a little bit how this new moon in Cancer can affect you and your life. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the tarot cards have to say. Dear angels and guides, please help the viewers understand how to interpret this new moon in Cancer that's happening on July 5th of 2024. Please and thank you. We've got the Empress card in reverse. I love that. I mentioned there's a lot of feminine energy, right? The Empress card in reverse, I kind of feel like this is the introspection happening. There's a lot of introspection happening during this new moon. It says insecure, blocked creativity, pay attention to your body, dependence or negligence. Remember how I said with all of that feminine energy in Cancer, the tendency could mean that you ignore your personal needs, your personal emotions for another, because Cancer people tend to like to take care of others over themselves, and even take care of others emotionally over themselves. I really feel this is a heads up saying, don't block your creativity. Don't block that creativity, and take care of your body. Take care of yourself. It's only in taking care of yourself through that feminine power that you can then take care of others. So new moon in Cancer, please and thank you for July 5th, 2024. We've got the 10 of Wands in reverse. Lay your burden down. Lay your burden down. readjust, release, reduce. I love this. Get your priorities straight. Delegate responsibility and prioritize. Prioritize. I'm going to read this again. I really, really like this. Lay your burdens down. Readjust, release, reduce. Get your priorities straight. Delegate responsibility and prioritize. That's Saturn. That is Saturn. That's the Saturn trine, the new moon, Saturn in Pisces, retrograde. And you know, here we go, right? We have it in reverse, retrograde, readjust, release, reduce. Saturn is all about reducing. Saturn is about shrinking things down. It will cut away things that you don't need in your life. Getting your priorities straight. I really feel that this deep exploration is about getting your priorities straight. What are my deepest emotions about my immediate environment, my home, my family, my very close friends? What can I do to make me feel the most comfortable? And it might just be delegating responsibility. Hire a housekeeper, hire a gardener, reduce the responsibility on yourself so that you feel better at home. You feel more comfy and cozy at home. You feel more secure at home. Delegate responsibility to your family members so you don't have to do it all. All right, here we go. One more, please and thank you. The new moon in Cancer for this audience, July 5th. Two of Cups, unhealthy, in reverse, unhealthy attachment, rescuing. Oh my gosh, what did I just say about all that Cancer energy? Rescuing, caretaking, enabling, clinging, seeking approval, and codependency. The inner exploration of your deepest emotions must come to this. Am I caretaking too much? Am I enabling others? Am I too codependent? Do I ignore my own needs, emotions, desires to feel the best that I can feel in my immediate home environment because I'm bleeding out? Like I'm taking care of all these other people, all of these other situations, and then I am depleted. Look, you cannot make this up. It's Venus and Cancer at the top of this card, the reversal. Venus in Cancer. So that you really do need to explore these things. How to unblock your feminine creative power. Do not ignore your body, mind, and emotions. Reduce, delegate, so you don't feel overburdened, and explore your tendencies to have unhealthy codependent relationships and to enable others when they could very well take care of themselves because you are a rescuer, right? And being a rescuer is healthy if you're like an ER doctor or an ER nurse, right? That's healthy. But when you're doing it at home, which Cancer is about, home, when you're doing it at home, that's not healthy for you. All right, so what are our solutions, please, for these three cards? What are the solutions for this new moon in Cancer, please and thank you? Three of Swords, deep emotional pain. Look, I said it's necessary to go deep this time. You need to dig really deep. Not to say that Cancer is super deep. It's super deep about the emotions from your childhood. That is deep. But we've got the trine with Saturn retrograde in Pisces. That's asking you to go deeper. How do I really feel about this? How do I really feel about my blocked creativity? How do I really feel about negligence to my body and myself? How do I really feel about being overburdened and having to do everything in my house? How do I really feel about having these codependent relationships or enabling another person? How do I really feel? That's where you're gonna have to go, is get to the core of your feelings about this. All right, so what else, what other solutions do we have here for the new moon in Cancer? Look, we've got Two of Cups upright. So we have the Two of Cups reverse and we have Two of the Cups upright. So the solution is getting to know how to manage and how to have a healthy attachment, how to have a healthy relationship. Look, we are not taught how to have healthy relationships at all. Most people are very codependent. And so learning how to have healthy relationships is just something that we sometimes, most of us have to learn in adulthood. How to set proper boundaries, how to respect other people's boundaries, how to stay in our lanes and not butt our noses into other people's business. Let other people fall. They need to fall sometimes. And how not to manipulate or control other people. We're not taught all of this. So sometimes learning how to manage that, how to not be codependent, how not to enable, that is the solution, is to learn how to have a healthy attachment. All right, let's see what else. That one's a little jumping card, so we'll put that to the side for now. So what is the solution for the new moon in Cancer, please and thank you? Death, internal change. This is a death card in reverse, by the way. Internal change. Yeah, internally. This is internal energy, internally changing, internally transforming. Not transforming people on the outside of you, but this is about you changing internally. You changing how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your environment, how you feel about your emotions, and changing the things that are within your power to change. Look, I love this. The jumping card was Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles, new beginning, a Taurus card. Taurus card, new beginnings, planting the seeds. Planting the seeds, new beginnings, new moon. Planting the seeds, Mars and Taurus. See how that beautifully works out, you guys? That's crazy. The last solution is Mars and Taurus. Planting the new beginnings, planting the seeds, taking the action steps. But before you can take those action steps, you really need to dig really super deep into all of these things that are happening in you that are making you feel uncomfortable at home with your immediate family and friends, things that are making you feel a lack of creativity because you are overburdened, overworked, you're over caring for others, you are enabling others, you have too many codependent relationships in your life, and you're not taking care of yourself as a result of it. You're not taking care of your body, you're not taking care of your emotions, and now is the time to dig really deep, acknowledge those emotions, learn how to have healthier relationships with others, and make those internal changes so you can plant the good seeds for the future. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with others who enjoy astrology and tarot. Thank you so much for your support of my YouTube channel. You can buy one of my 11 published books. You can donate to the channel on Patreon. I'll put the link below, and I will see you in the next video.